Welcome to Shiny New Clients, the marketing podcast that helps you attract shiny new clients to your business. We talk about social media marketing. I'll give you actionable strategies to get more clients today and the mindset that it takes to grow a business, all in 25 minutes or less. Whether you're an online business owner or have an in-person service or even a course or membership, if you've got a service-based business, this is the show you need to fill your calendar. I'm Jenna Harding, your new marketing coach, and this is Shiny New Clients. There's a comment that I sometimes get on my Instagram posts, and it's something to the effect of, I wish I could bottle your energy, to which I usually respond with a bunch of coffee cup emojis. Or people will ask, Jenna, are you like this excited all the time? Do you have this much energy all the time? The answer is no. Who would? That's crazy. But I do have that energy when I choose to have that energy and when I choose to turn it on, because I know that if I have energy, you watching the post will have energy. Just like if I smile, you watching me will smile because of mirror neurons. And so my friend Jaden Hummel is here today to talk about how, honestly, enthusiasm and alignment and being excited about your offers helps you sell them. And when you are excited about what you're selling, your people will get excited about what you're selling. Not as if it's this like special hack and that we want to fake, but how we can truly find that deep within ourselves. It is so powerful for selling your offers. Jaden is a coach for entrepreneurs, an alignment coach. She helps people deal with the inner work of being an entrepreneur that then serves you in your entrepreneurship journey. So good morning, afternoon, evening, Jaden.
Hello, I'm so happy to be here. We have to actually be excited. We have to actually get behind the thing that we're selling or doing in the world.
Yeah.
It's funny because I was listening to your podcast this morning too, and you were talking about bootstrapping and going out and getting clients. And you were saying at the end of the podcast, you were like, I would just talk to somebody or my landlord or this person. And all of a sudden, I'm talking about my work or I'm like selling them a thing. And I've had so many people come to me over the years of how do I grow my business or how do I do this? And we're inputted with all of this information. The amount of information intake we can do is absolutely insane and amazing. But people come to me and they ask me, like, how do I do this thing? And I've looked back in my own life of like, how have I done things? And anything that I've ever done, what has been my strategy or what has been the secret sauce? And I've just done it. Like before I was doing coaching and consulting, I was doing house flipping and real estate. In one of the houses I bought in Vermont, I was just so excited to buy the house. And I think it was a holiday or it was a Sunday night. And I just let myself in through the back window and went and like took a tour of the house. It was Vermont in the middle of nowhere. I don't recommend that. But I just jumped in. I was so excited to buy it and to flip it that everyone in my life was excited about it. And anything I wanted to do, I could just kind of start to figure it out because I was excited. And alignment and excitement is the thing that gives us creativity. It is the thing that is magnetic that people feel. And without that, we're just trying to figure out a bunch of things to make things work.
So what I'm hearing you say is folks out there are looking for the next webinar, the next $27 offer, the next strategy, the next it thing to build their business and get clients coming in. But what we really need is to be excited about what we're doing. And when we have that drive, when we have that desire, trust that you're going to be able to figure that out and follow that. And that's going to lead you to where you want to go.
Yeah, totally. And I think we live in this world of this binary thinking when we're like, oh, I either have to figure out the perfect funnel, the perfect strategy, which of course I'm not knocking information as a whole, right? It's like,
No,
of
of
course
course.
I've learned from people. I've done things. I've implemented funnels. I'm like figuring out I'm listening to your work about social media. But I heard this quote from Alison Armstrong, which was so amazing. And she said, if if you knew that success were off the table, like if you knew it were impossible, if you knew it would be impossible to succeed, what would be worth doing anyway? And I find that we should ask ourselves, I know, right? I
I
find that we
love
should,
that.
yeah, it's so good because you look back and I'm a snowboarder. I'm good at cooking. Like I'm not good at cooking because I'm trying to be top chef. I'm good at cooking because I don't care how the food comes out. It's fun for me. And so we get to ask ourselves that as the foundation and then go, okay, well, I'm alive and well in 2026. How can I make that thing successful? Because I know it will be. But without that first question, we're going to have a lot less energy to put into whatever it is that we're trying to create.
Hear you knocking strategy at all because I know better than anyone when you get to a certain level of entrepreneurship, you already know the what to do's, and it's
Mhm.
something else that stops you from getting where you want to go. No one with a seven-figure business needs another funnel strategy that they haven't already been somehow introduced to in some way. Like it's other things and it's other levels inside us, you typically that are going to get us up to that next tier.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, you talked about that self-trust and we look at who's going to save me? Who's going to give me the thing? Where is the next thing going to come from? Yeah, I think it's really hard for us to sit there at like square one or square 100 out of 1,000. We're sitting here and we're like, oh my gosh, it's up to me to figure it out. Like I have to trust myself the right strategy. I have to
Yeah.
trust that this conversation is going to happen. There's no safety and security in that. But if you reverse engineer things in your life or look at how things work out for people, it is our internal guidance that leads us to the right thing or gives us the energy to tweak the right funnel.
Let me tell you something. Every now and then I get invited to write for this magazine. It's called Impressions. It's for the decorated apparel industry, which is the language of people who make t-shirts and jerseys and work uniforms and stuff like that. It's called like the decorated apparel industry. So they will
Oh,
like fly me out and I'll speak at their conferences. It's really fun. And they have a magazine. I write for the magazine. Anyway, I just this week I had been working on this article and I wanted external validation so badly. Like I had my husband read it and I was like, "What do you think? Was it funny? Did you like it?" And he's like, "Yeah, babe. I mean, like it's good." Like he doesn't know. He's not a decorated apparel person. He's not a social media person. Like he doesn't even know what he's reading.
yeah.
I asked AI to read it and I was like, "AI, will you tell me it's good?" Like I was looking and I knew in the back of my head, I'm like, you need to trust that this is good because I've written for them before and I know what's going to happen. It's exactly what did happen. I asked the editor, any changes? I left some options in the comments. Let me know if you want revisions. And I got back, thanks, Jenna, great work. Like
Yeah.
no one is gonna no one is gonna validate you. No one is gonna tell you, yes, honey, you did so good unless you like ask ask them to, but I knew the whole time something in my head was begging for that I was the only one that could give it to me.
Yeah. Yeah. In business or entrepreneurship, and it's, in the beginning before we started, you're like, are you a business coach or, like, what are you? And the reason I coach entrepreneurs specifically is because the nervous system capacity required to be in this abyss of the unknown all the time. And I think it's so funny. I was sitting this morning, I just had like a really great weekend and I joke with myself. I'm like, a great weekend is when I come back to my computer and I forget like my email password. I forget what I'm doing, but I also remember because I love my work so much. I'm like,
Yes.
it's this perfect balance. But, sometimes I joke with myself. I'm like, I wish that there was just someone to like tell me what to do today. You could just clock in and go, oh, here, I like did my work for today. Because there's so much self-sourcing, there's so much unknown, and it's such an interesting thing, and I made a post today about, kind of trusting your message on social media, and my friend commented, and she was like, "Oh, you said this to me years ago," and I always think, we shouldn't be embarrassed to share our work online because we're actually sharing the things that we wanna post, but there's so much unknown. You're like, "Is my message good? Are people gonna wanna hear it? Is this thing gonna work? What if I put 10 years of time in?" Blah, 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 blah. And there's an uncertainty about it, but the thing that gives us certainty, another amazing quote, this is actually from Abraham Hicks, I saw her in San Diego. She said, "Satisfaction isn't having something, it's moving in the direction of where we wanna go." And so I look at this certainty and satisfaction in business, my anchor point or my foundation or my insurance that my business is gonna work is, do I like it? Do I enjoy it? Because I found in my life the things that I've done over and over and over again, I just kind of like them. I just kind of enjoy it, And so then even if people don't like it, or even if it's just chaotic, stressful, like, are people going to read it or is it going to perform well? If we like it, we're generally going to keep doing it. We're generally going to
Yeah.
say
And
this.
along those same lines, you can't ultimately control your results. You can't
Totally.
make someone buy, you can't make anyone do something, but you can
Mm.
control your output. So making the post, putting yourself out there, writing the email, phoning the lead, whatever it is, you can control those things. And I think releasing control of the results, as hard as that is, also makes you continue to enjoy things. It makes you enjoy the work more.
Yeah. It's so interesting because we obviously have to some degree, think about the outcome, right? Especially if you're someone who, like, your business might be feeding you or it might be feeding your family. Like, to some extent, you have to think about the outcome. But just from an alignment, sort of spiritual concept, I've noticed in my life that the things that have worked really well, I'm not as focused on the outcome. You just kind of do it. You just kind of start going to something, and then all of a sudden it works out really well. And so there's this teetering that I sit and question with myself of when I'm feeling hyper focused on an outcome to the point that it's contracting or I'm just gripping onto it. That's a signal for me that something isn't internally, not that it's like not aligned and it's a bad thing, but it's usually the signal that there's a way that I could have more fun with it, or there's a way that I could be more excited about the thing that I'm doing. Because if it is something that I really want, usually the energy and the excitement will outweigh that fear of how the thing is going to unfold. But it's this really interesting balance that we get to hold as entrepreneurs of really holding the vision for something to be amazing, but also being aware that when we're just so, I don't know if you've had that experience, like offers that you've been super excited about that have just like, that you felt like less focused on the outcome. I'm curious how you feel about
Well,
that.
what it makes me think about is sometimes something is working and I stop anyway.
Hmm.
Because for some reason it just doesn't feel like it drives me. And what a privilege that I
Hmm.
can do that, that hopefully you, dear listener, can sometimes do that too. I always wonder how somebody stays in one job for 40 years because after about 5 to 7 years of something, I'm ready for like a big old switch. And sometimes something is working and I just don't want to keep doing it. Um, and I think, I don't know, I wonder about that too and how that plays into it.
Yeah, I am so that way. It's really easy for me to just like throw things out the window, like in my life, whether like anything. I'll be like, I'm moving across the country, like, peace out. I'm changing my phone number or an offer. I'm like, I don't want to do that anymore. And I've really, my work in the last, I'd say like 5 years has really been in what we were talking about earlier of just like, okay, how can I enjoy this thing a little bit more? Or how can I be more excited about what I'm doing instead of stopping doing it and doing something else? But sometimes the answer is you stop and you do something else. But I've been really trying to play with that. How can I just make it a little better, a little more exciting, and trusting that there was alignment in it before that I can strengthen rather than being like, oh, I guess that wasn't the thing that I want
Yeah.
to
I think
do
I think
anymore.
that's probably that's why you have your job and I don't have your job. I think that's probably better advice, not just like give up if it's not fun. I did
Yeah.
just see a reel the other day or a TikTok, a viral TikTok of this guy. His mantra is, what would this look like if it was fun? And so he tells this
Mm-hmm.
story. I'll try and find it and link it in the show notes if you guys want to go down there. He went into an Airbnb and then the entire next door to him was a construction zone. So he had this luxury space and it was all like jackhammers and guys like even on the second floor like looking right in his window. So what he did was bought a whole bunch of smoothies and went over there and climbed up the building and like just started handing them out. And then every day he'd look out the window and they'd wave to him and he had buddies. So he took this bad experience and again, he thought, what would this look like if it was fun? And then worked from that. I reposted that
Yeah.
shit. Like I thought that was like a really good way to get yourself back vibing with something, especially when it's a situation you find yourself in and you really shouldn't just quit and run.
Yeah. Life's hardest answers nobody can give us, right? It's like, do I stay? Do I go? Do I like, these are the answers of our soul. Nobody has them. I don't have them. They're not in an online course. Like, that's between you and like your soul. But usually we can attempt to ask yourselves these questions. And I love that of like, how do I have more fun? Or how can I make this more aligned? Or what would be a more fun way for me to sell this? Or if I had to launch this course. And I always ask myself too, like, if nobody came before me, what would I do? Like, would I post on Instagram and hope for the best? No, I'd probably call my family. I'd call my friends. Like, what would I come up with in my experience when I want to shut something down? I'm usually trying to get out of the pain of something not being fun, or get out of the pain of something not working, or get out of the pain of stagnancy. And so I'm like, oh, like new thing. So I really try to come back to those little pieces of how could I, because we don't tear, if you think about your life, you might move, you might end a relationship, you might dye your hair, but you don't totally tear down everything you've learned and restart. It's this mastery, this like little things that we kind of change and tweak over time, even if it feels extreme, like a big life change. It's these little tweaks that we do that bring us closer and closer to who we are and what we want to sell and how we want to show up in our business.
Well, I don't know. Changing your phone number, moving across the country, and saying goodbye to everyone you know doesn't sound like a tweak to me.
A little tweak.
In general,
Yeah,
I would agree. Yeah, like you just make a tiny pivot every single day, and then suddenly you wake up in the woods in Manitoba, and you're like, "Oh, I didn't see this coming."
totally. Yeah. I had a client recently. She came on one of our group calls, and she's doing a new business venture, and she was kind of like, nothing I've ever done has worked, which wasn't fully true at all. But she had this story of like, nothing I've ever done has worked. How am I going to go and do this new big thing? And you can't go and do the new big thing if the focus is on all the things that you've done in your life up until this point haven't worked. And same with social media, right? Like how would you ever possibly have the energy to post if your mind is like failed reel after failed reel after failed reel? You'd be silly to get up and post. So yeah, like forget that, let it be, move forward.
100%. Oh, Jaden, thank you so much. I also really liked the idea of having you here with this talk of like enthusiasm and excitement, because the way that my excitement looks, which is like borderline bananas, that's not what most people are like. And you're so chill and down to earth. And you're like, you can still be excited about what you're doing. You don't need to be like doing jumping jacks in the lake. Like you can be more Jaden's energy and still like attain all of this.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad you brought that up again, because really quick, I just want to say when you said that, you were like, my energy, and I'm doing this so that you enjoy it, and my energy is in here. What I heard is generosity. And it's another big thing I think about is you're thinking, how can I give this as a good experience to people listening, which is focusing 100% of your energy on the people in front of you. I think that's another big thing of like getting out of our head and into, creation or doing things. It's just being in that generous focus. And so for me, it looks like really chill. Like people are like, are you drinking tea? And for you, it might be like doing jumping jacks, but it's that generous focus of your clients, and it's going to look different for everybody. So it's alignment. Like, what does that look like for me to focus 100% on my people? What does it look like for me to show up and be us?
That's one of the secrets to content creation. Have I talked to you about this before? It's like
Mm-mm.
you think about what's in it for them, and if you take the focus, if you're thinking about how bad you look on camera, then you're thinking about me, 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 me. So just think about what you're giving them and what somebody else needs to hear today, not like how you look or how you want to be perceived or looking smart. That's one of my things. I'll always try and look smart. And that's the secret to better content as well.
You can
Amazing.
feel it. Yeah,
So
so good.
where can people find you? Where should they go next?
You can find me. I personally am on Instagram at Jaden B. Hummel. And then my company and my work and my group, if you're interested in what we do, is Open Field, which is at OPN Field. It's open without the E on Instagram. And you can just comment open on any of my posts, and I'll bring you into my world and let you know a little bit more about what we do.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.